Most people believe that value must look beautiful. We're trained from childhood to associate shine with worth, sparkle with importance, and brightness with riches. When we think of diamonds, we imagine clear crystals glittering under bright lights, carefully cut and displayed behind glass. But nature does not work the way jewelry stores do. In the real world, the most valuable stones often hide behind the most unappealing appearances. This is why some of the richest rocks on Earth are ignored, kicked aside, or thrown away every single day. Ugly rocks do not attract attention. They are dull, rough, dirty, and often covered with cracks, stains, or uneven textures. To an untrained eye, they look no different from ordinary gravel or construction waste. People walk past them on hiking trails, riverbeds, deserts, and mining sites without giving them a second glance. Yet geology tells a very different story. Many of these unattractive stones are not random at all. They are carriers, formed by violent forces deep inside the earth, designed not to impress the eye, but to protect what lies within. Diamonds do not form near the surface. They are created hundreds of kilometers underground, under extreme heat and pressure, over periods of time so long that human history barely measures against it. When they finally reach the surface, they do not rise gently. They are blasted upward through volcanic eruptions, trapped inside host rocks that cool rapidly and harden into coarse, ugly masses. These host rocks are not meant to be admired. Their job is to hide, preserve, and transport. Human psychology plays a major role in why these rocks are overlooked. Our brains are wired to judge quickly. Smooth, shiny, colorful objects signal value, while rough, dark, irregular objects signal danger or uselessness. This instinct may protect us in daily life, but in geology it leads to costly mistakes. The very features that make a rock unattractive, its weight, density, rough texture, and strange coloration, are often the clues that experts look for. Another reason ugly rocks are ignored is modern convenience. We live in a world where wealth is digital, polished, and refined. Few people believe that real treasure still lies in nature, waiting quietly in plain sight. Mining companies focus on large-scale operations, while individuals assume that everything valuable has already been found. This belief is dangerously wrong. History repeatedly shows that major discoveries are often made by accident, by people who stopped and looked twice. In this documentary, we begin with this simple truth: value does not announce itself. Diamonds do not beg to be found. They hide behind ugliness, waiting for knowledge to uncover them. Before we learn how diamonds form or where they are found, we must first unlearn a powerful illusion: the idea that worth must look beautiful. Long before humans walked the earth, before mountains rose and oceans formed, diamonds were already being created deep below the planet's surface. Their origin is not gentle, and it is not quick. Diamonds are born in darkness, under conditions so extreme that almost nothing else can survive. To understand why diamonds hide inside ugly rocks, we must first travel far beneath our feet, into a world shaped by pressure, heat, and unimaginable time. Diamonds form more than 150 kilometers below the Earth's surface, inside a layer called the mantle. Here, temperatures rise above 1,000 degrees Celsius, and pressure becomes millions of times stronger than what we experience at the surface. Carbon, one of the most common elements on Earth, is forced into a new structure under these brutal conditions. Atom by atom, carbon locks itself into a crystal lattice so strong that it becomes the hardest natural material known. This process does not happen in days or years. It takes millions, sometimes billions of years for a diamond to fully form. But forming a diamond is only the beginning. If it remained buried in the mantle forever, it would never be seen by human eyes. Diamonds need a violent escape. This escape comes through rare and powerful volcanic eruptions, unlike ordinary volcanoes. These eruptions act like deep earth elevators, blasting material from the mantle to the surface at incredible speed. If the journey is too slow, the diamond will be destroyed by heat. Only the fastest eruptions allow diamonds to survive intact. During this violent ascent, diamonds are not carried alone. They're trapped inside molten rock that cools rapidly as it reaches the surface. This rock hardens into rough, dark, coarse material that looks nothing like treasure. It is heavy, uneven, and often filled with other minerals. These rocks are not beautiful. They are scarred by their journey, cracked by pressure, and stained by chemical reactions. Yet inside them, diamonds remain untouched, protected by the very ugliness that hides them. This is why diamonds are never found lying openly on the surface in their natural state. They are prisoners of their birthplace, locked inside host rocks that give no obvious sign of what they contain. Weathering and erosion may eventually break these rocks apart, releasing diamonds into rivers and soil, but even then they do not sparkle like jewelry. Raw diamonds often look cloudy, greasy, or dull, easily mistaken for quartz or ordinary stones. Understanding how diamonds are born changes everything. It explains why they are rare, why they are hidden, and why so many are missed. Diamonds are not rewards for those who search for beauty. They belong to those who understand pressure, patience, and the silent forces working beneath the earth. What looks ordinary on the surface may carry a history older than life itself, waiting for someone who knows where to look and how to see beyond appearances. Diamonds rarely reveal themselves directly. Instead, they hide behind specific types of rocks that act like silent guardians. Among these, two names matter more than any others: kimberlite and lamproite. To most people, these words mean nothing. To geologists, they are signals, whispers from deep inside the earth that diamonds may be nearby. Yet to an untrained eye, these rocks look unimpressive, even ugly, and are often dismissed as worthless debris. Kimberlite is a volcanic rock formed during rare eruptions that originate deep within the Earth's mantle. When it reaches the surface, it cools quickly, creating a rough, crumbly texture that looks broken and dirty. Its color is usually dull, greenish-gray, bluish, or dark brown. There is no shine, no beauty, and nothing about it suggests wealth. In fact, many people mistake kimberlite for mudstone or decomposed rock and walk right past it. But this unappealing appearance is exactly what makes it important. Kimberlite is one of the few rock types capable of carrying diamonds from extreme depths to the surface without destroying them. Lamproite is even rarer and more deceptive. It forms under similar deep earth conditions but has a more chaotic appearance. Lamproite rocks are often dark, dense, and uneven, filled with strange mineral fragments. They may look burnt, cracked, or contaminated as if they were damaged or worthless. Unlike kimberlite, lamproite does not follow a predictable look, which makes it even easier to ignore. Yet some of the world's richest diamond discoveries have come from lamproite, hidden in places no one expected. So why do these rocks look so ugly? The answer lies in violence and speed. Kimberlite and lamproite are not formed slowly like granite or limestone. They are born in explosive events that tear through the Earth's layers, mixing materials under extreme pressure. The result is disorder, rough textures, mixed minerals, and unstable surfaces. Beauty is sacrificed for survival. These rocks are not designed to impress, they are designed to deliver. Experts know that diamonds leave subtle clues behind. Kimberlite often feels heavier than it looks, with a greasy or waxy texture when wet. It may contain small green crystals or unusual mineral grains that do not belong in surface rocks. Lamproite can show strange colors, magnetic behavior, or fragments that seem out of place. These signs are easy to miss if you are looking only for shine. Beginners make one common mistake. They search for diamonds themselves instead of the rocks that carry them. Professionals do the opposite. They hunt the host, not the prize. They understand that the ugliest rocks are often the most honest. They tell the true story of the Earth's depths, quietly pointing to treasures hidden inside, waiting for someone patient enough to recognize them. When people think of diamonds, they imagine distant lands, Africa, Russia, or deep underground mines guarded by heavy machinery. Very few imagine America. Yet beneath American soil lies a quiet truth that surprises even experienced treasure hunters. Diamonds are not foreign to this land. They are hidden, scattered, and often forgotten, concealed within regions that look ordinary and unremarkable on the surface. America's diamond zones do not announce themselves with towering mines or glittering landscapes. They hide in farmland, forests, dry plains, and ancient riverbeds. Some are known but underestimated. Others remain almost completely ignored. What connects these zones is not beauty, but geology, ancient volcanic activity that once ripped through the earth and left behind silent clues. One of the most surprising facts is that diamonds in America are not always deep underground. Over millions of years, wind, water, and erosion have broken apart diamond-bearing rocks, carrying their contents far from the original source. Rivers become natural transport systems, slowly moving diamonds downstream and depositing them in gravel beds, bends, and floodplains. This means that some diamonds are found far away from the volcanic pipes that created them, resting quietly among ordinary stones. Many American diamond zones exist in places where people least expect them. Old volcanic regions, long considered inactive or unimportant, hold the greatest potential. These areas no longer look dramatic. Their violent past has been erased by time. Forests grow over them, towns are built nearby, roads cross them without warning. Beneath all this calm lies a history of explosive force strong enough to bring diamonds to the surface. Another reason these zones remain hidden is scale. Unlike massive commercial mines found elsewhere in the world, American diamond areas are often small and scattered. They do not promise instant riches to corporations, so they receive little attention. But for individuals, researchers, and patient hunters, these small zones are exactly where discoveries happen. History shows that many valuable finds were made not by professionals, but by ordinary people who happened to look down at the right moment. There is also a powerful myth that everything worth finding in America has already been discovered. This belief creates blindness, exploration slows, curiosity fades. Yet geology does not care about human assumptions. Diamonds form where conditions allow, not where people expect them. New discoveries continue to be made, often quietly, without headlines or celebration. America's hidden diamond zones teach a simple lesson. Wealth does not disappear just because it is ignored, it waits. Beneath familiar ground lies unfamiliar value, locked inside rocks that look no different from any other. To find diamonds here, one must abandon the idea of obvious treasure and instead learn to read the land itself, patiently, carefully, and without prejudice. Some of the most valuable diamond discoveries in history were not made by trained geologists or professional miners. They were made by ordinary people, farmers, hikers, construction workers, and curious travelers, individuals who were never searching for treasure, yet stumbled upon it by chance. These stories are not rare exceptions. They are reminders of how often wealth hides in plain sight, waiting for anyone willing to notice. Many discoveries begin with a simple moment. A person bends down to pick up a strange-looking stone. It feels heavier than expected. Its surface looks dull, cloudy, or greasy, nothing like the sparkling diamonds seen in jewelry stores. Most people would toss it aside without a second thought, but sometimes curiosity wins. The stone is kept, shown to a friend, or tested out of pure interest. That single decision changes everything. There are countless cases of people unknowingly carrying diamonds in their pockets for years. Some were used as paperweights. Others were stored in drawers, mistaken for ordinary rocks. In a few shocking cases, diamonds were thrown away multiple times before someone finally recognized their value. These stories are not about luck alone. They reveal a deeper truth. Knowledge matters more than intention. You do not have to search for diamonds to find them. You only have to recognize them when they appear. What makes these discoveries even surprising is where they happen. Backyards, riverbanks, hiking trails, construction sites, places passed over daily without attention. Diamonds do not choose dramatic settings. They emerge wherever geological history allows. When erosion frees them from their host rocks, they quietly blend into their surroundings. Without training, they are nearly invisible to human judgment. Many people who found diamonds never believed the truth at first. They assumed experts would laugh at them. Some delayed testing their stones out of fear of embarrassment. Others assumed the stone was fake because it looked too ordinary. This hesitation has cost people fortunes. In several documented cases, individuals sold stones cheaply or gave them away, only to learn later that they had parted with something incredibly valuable. These discoveries challenge a powerful belief that wealth belongs only to those actively searching for it. In reality, the earth does not reward effort alone. It rewards awareness. Ordinary people succeed not because they are lucky, but because they pause, observe, and question what others ignore. The most shocking part is not that diamonds are found by accident. It is how often they are missed afterward. Every story of discovery carries an invisible shadow, the story of how many more were never recognized at all. How many diamonds were kicked into rivers, crushed under tires, or buried under concrete without anyone ever knowing. These ordinary discoveries send a clear message. Treasure does not announce itself. It waits quietly, disguised as something unimportant. And sometimes the only difference between poverty and wealth is a moment of curiosity that refuses to look away. Every single day, rocks that contain extraordinary value are discarded without hesitation. They are shoveled aside, crushed, buried, or dumped into landfills never to be seen again. This does not happen because people are careless. It happens because human perception is deeply flawed when it comes to recognizing hidden worth. The reasons these rocks are thrown away are simple, common, and painfully human. The first reason is appearance. Ugly rocks trigger instant rejection. Rough surfaces, dark colors, and irregular shapes signal uselessness to the human mind. People associate value with cleanliness and beauty, not with dirt and disorder. When someone encounters a rock that looks broken or stained, they assume it has no purpose. This instinct works in everyday life, but in geology, it leads to constant loss. Diamond-bearing rocks are not smooth or attractive. They look damaged, weathered, and unimportant, which makes them easy to ignore. The second reason is lack of knowledge. Most people have never been taught how diamonds actually appear in nature. Movies and advertisements show diamonds as polished crystals, sparkling under bright lights. This creates a false image. When people encounter a real diamond in its raw form, they do not recognize it. They expect brilliance and clarity, not cloudiness and dullness. The same misunderstanding applies to the rocks that carry diamonds. Without basic geological awareness, these stones are dismissed instantly. Another major factor is routine. Construction workers move tons of rock every day. Farmers clear fields. Hikers follow trails without looking down. In these repetitive environments, rocks become background noise. There is no time or reason to stop and examine each one. Valuable stones are treated the same as worthless debris. Once a rock enters a pile marked for removal, its fate is sealed, regardless of what it contains. There is also a powerful belief that valuable discoveries are rare and controlled. People assume that if a rock contained something precious, someone else would have already found it. This assumption creates blind trust in authority and systems. It discourages curiosity. It convinces people that discovery is not their responsibility. In reality, history proves the opposite. Many major finds were overlooked precisely because everyone assumed nothing was left to find. Even miners make this mistake. Large-scale operations focus on efficiency, not curiosity. Material that does not meet visual or chemical expectations is discarded quickly. Small diamond-bearing fragments can easily be lost in this process, sacrificed for speed and profit. The tragedy is not that diamonds are rare. The tragedy is that they are misunderstood. Rocks are thrown away not because they lack value, but because people lack awareness. Each discarded stone represents a moment when potential wealth quietly disappeared, unnoticed, into the ground once again. Experts do not search for diamonds the way most people imagine. They do not walk around hoping to spot a sparkling crystal on the ground. Instead, they train their eyes to recognize patterns, textures, and signs that tell a deeper geological story. Identifying diamond-bearing rocks is not about luck. It is about learning to see what others overlook. The first thing experts notice is weight. Diamond host rocks often feel heavier than they look. This density comes from the minerals formed deep within the earth, compressed under extreme pressure. When an experienced hand lifts a rock and senses unexpected weight, curiosity is triggered. Beginners rarely test this. They judge only by appearance, missing one of the simplest clues. Texture is another key indicator. Kimberlite and lamproite do not feel smooth. Their surfaces are rough, uneven, and sometimes crumbly. When wet, they may develop a slightly greasy or waxy feel. This texture is subtle, easy to ignore, and impossible to recognize without experience. Experts know that polished beauty is irrelevant. Disorder and imperfection often signal deep earth origins. Color also matters, but not in the way people expect. Diamond-bearing rocks are rarely bright. They tend to appear dark green, bluish gray, brown, or almost black. These colors reflect chemical compositions that formed far below the surface. Experts learn to be suspicious of dullness. When a rock looks lifeless and muddy, yet feels unusually solid, it earns a second look. Another clue lies in what does not belong. Experts search for minerals that seem out of place, tiny crystals, unusual fragments, or grains that do not match the surrounding environment. These foreign minerals act like fingerprints from the Earth's mantle. Even without seeing a diamond, these indicators suggest that the rock traveled from great depth, increasing the likelihood that diamonds may be present. However, visual inspection is only the beginning. True confirmation requires testing. Experts understand the limits of the human eye. They use laboratory analysis to identify mineral composition, pressure signatures, and age. Many rocks that look identical on the surface tell completely different stories under a microscope. This is where beginners often fail. They rely on appearance alone and walk away too soon. Perhaps the most important skill experts possess is patience. They do not expect immediate reward. They collect samples, study patterns, and build knowledge over time. They understand that one rock means little, but many similar rocks in one area mean everything. Experts do not find diamonds because they see sparkle. They find them because they listen to the quiet language of stone. They read weight, texture, and history, understanding that diamonds do not reveal themselves openly. They hide behind signs only those trained to look slowly can recognize. Despite centuries of mining, exploration, and technological advancement, the Earth has not given up all its secrets. Beneath familiar landscapes, beyond paved roads and quiet fields, enormous wealth still waits to be discovered. Diamonds, rare minerals, and valuable resources remain hidden, not because they are gone, but because they are misunderstood. The greatest treasure left on Earth is not buried deeper, it is overlooked. Many people believe that modern science has already mapped everything of value. Satellites scan the planet, machines dig deeper than ever before, databases store centuries of geological knowledge. Yet discovery has never been about technology alone. It has always depended on curiosity, patience, and the willingness to question assumptions. Technology helps us see more clearly, but it cannot replace human attention. If people stop looking, wealth remains invisible. The future of discovery lies in understanding patterns rather than chasing myths. Diamonds do not vanish once found in one location. Geological conditions repeat. Where pressure, carbon, and volcanic force once aligned, similar environments may exist nearby or deeper below. Many regions remain underexplored not because they lack value, but because they lack attention. These quiet zones hold potential waiting for the right moment and the right observer. Artificial intelligence and modern analysis tools are beginning to change this landscape. Patterns that once took decades to recognize can now be identified in years or even months. Subtle mineral signals, overlooked in the past, are gaining new importance. But technology alone is not enough. Without people willing to understand rocks instead of judging them, discoveries will continue to be missed. Hidden wealth is not limited to large discoveries. Small finds matter too. A single diamond can change a life. A small cluster can reshape an entire region. History shows that many major mining operations began with a single stone picked up by someone who refused to ignore it. The future will be no different. The earth still rewards those who observe carefully and act thoughtfully. There is also a warning embedded in this truth. As land is developed and natural spaces shrink, opportunities disappear forever. Once diamond-bearing ground is paved over or destroyed, its hidden value is lost permanently. Every overlooked rock carries a silent question: what could have been? The hidden wealth still waiting to be found is not just about money. It represents knowledge, history, and a deeper connection to the planet we live on. Diamonds are messages from deep time, reminders that the Earth holds stories far older than humanity. They wait patiently, disguised as ordinary stone, until someone learns to look beyond appearance and recognize value where others see none.